Okay, it's going.
Craig, thank you. Thank you and welcome everyone to the DXdao community for Thursday, March 17th, and happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope everyone is wearing their green. To start off, we're going to get an update on the ongoing ETH Denver virtual Build-a-thon or Build-a-thon that DXdao has been participating in. And I think Ross is going to give us an update here.
Yeah, I can give a brief update, mostly just a sort of reminder that we've been having quite a lot of bounties for the ETH Denver Hackathon, and obviously the in-person one came to a close at the end of ETH Denver, and it was very successful for us. We had a lot of great submissions there, but the virtual one is actually still ongoing, and I think we've had a few submissions on there, but we also still have a few that haven't had any submissions, and so if anyone's still biddling away, if that's how you pronounce it, I think there's just under 4 days left of the virtual hackathon on Dora Hacks, and I can put some links in the chat to our bounties. You should be able to see there's like an online section to that for the bounties, and so if anyone's interested, of course you can reach out. We have ones for Carrots, which is our sort of newest exciting DeFi side of things from our products, as well as some for guilds if you're wanting some simple to implement and integrate governance tooling solutions. And I believe there might be one more, Carrot guilds, and another Carrot one. Yeah. So yeah, if there's anyone interested, I'm sure you can ask around in some of the chats if you want some more details on it, but they're still there with just under 4 days left until the end.
Awesome. And it's really exciting kind of as DXdao participates in more hackathons, goes to more events, we're kind of getting a little bit better at managing this. And so like, even though the Build-a-thon is ending in 4 days, I think these kind of projects or being able to hack on different parts of DXdao projects, whether it's Carrot or kind of the guilds, like that's maybe an infrastructure that we can have going forward. So anyone in the community that is ever thinking an idea, or related to this, just because the Build-a-thon will be over, keep your eyes peeled for that going forward. Okay, and it's next up in a similar update, less on the Buildle, I guess maybe on the technical Buildle side, but we concluded the Codeless Conduct Hackathon that DXdao participated in. So this is a hackathon intended at non-developers or non-technical people. So this was a 2-week one. We've given a couple updates in the past here, so I won't go into too much detail here, but we did award 2 of the 3 bounties out, one to Tap T for his excellent meme skills. You may have seen Tap T in the Discord. He's been throwing some of these memes around, and so happy to see him kind of join the community, and always happy for the memes. There were a couple other meme submissions too that are pretty funny, so hopefully we'll be sharing those in the meme channel over the coming weeks. And then the second one that was awarded was to SwipSwap, and this was for a swapper tokenomics proposal. So it incorporated the VE curve model of locking up tokens, but it actually had something interesting where it also had these additional locked up tokens. One was specifically for DXdao locking up its swapper tokens and how that would affect its power and governance, just because DXdao has a big portion of the swapper tokens still. And then the second is creating like a separate locked token for more for other governance tasks besides just like the protocol fee or the reward issuance. Because for Curve right now, governance really only controls the issuance of Curve rewards. So this would have a token that would be for more, I guess, operational governance tasks. So awarded those. We had the closing ceremony on Friday. A lot of great sponsors and speakers there, and a lot of great activity. And like the Build-a-thon, I think DXdao benefited not just because we got a couple great submissions, we got some memes and some ideas for Swapper, but I think also because we have a little bit better idea of like what is a bounty, how would we kind of track it, and getting that infrastructure in place. So hopefully we can be participating in these more in the future. And then that was it for the codeless conduct recap. Those, as I said, those bounties have been paid out already, so we should be there. And then next up, we have DXD buyback extension, lucky number 7. Dave, do you want to jump in here and tell us what is exciting, or if there is anything exciting about buyback extension number 7?
Absolutely. I mean, buybacks are always exciting. I don't have to prelude that to my discussion, but I can say that the buyback proposal extension has been submitted already on chain. However, due to the spike in gas, I've submitted it at a slightly lower base gas limit, so it'll probably be live in the next couple of hours, assuming gas does drop a little bit. And it's another extension for I believe it's 385 ETH, moved to the ETH3 layer on mainnet, which will bridge over to XSide, where we do our buybacks. And I think this week we missed 1 or 2 buybacks due to the swapper farming campaigns, which were live, given that you need like 12k gen or something to boost. But we'll make sure to catch up by submitting a couple over the weekend to make sure we hit our weekly targets. But yeah, other than that, the proposal should be live today as soon as the gas lowers a bit. And then in 8 days, so next Friday, we'll be able to access those funds and bridge them right over. So the buyback can continue flawlessly without interruptions. That's pretty much it from my side.
Yeah, and this is, I think, comes just about a month after the previous one. And, a lot of the determination is actually based upon how the price of ETH fluctuates on when we kind of run out that. So, yeah, good to see kind of this going forward. And I think, as we start to continue the conversation on like kind of the future of the buyback, I think maybe looking at the next one, if we come to that, maybe we can have another kind of discussion in the meantime about potential things to put in there and to consider. And also very cool, I guess we didn't talk about it here, but for those of you who were following along over the weekend or in the last couple of days in the proposal land of DXdao, we had a very congested multi-call scheme over the weekend. I think we at one point had 19 proposals going through, and as holographic consensus works, to get more proposals boosted, when there are already so many proposals already boosted, you need more and more gen. So as Dave said, like to boost a proposal is requiring like 12,000 gen, when typically it only requires 200 gen. But once you wait a day, once those proposals kind of clear out and get passed, then the number comes back. And I also think it's it's cool to be thinking about the governance that DXdao is doing on chain. I think everyone knows that there's contributors and sponsors and things that we pay out through the treasury, and that's cool. People are voting on different worker proposals, but all of these different proposals are like governing things on chain. There was a proposal to swap WXDAI to USDC. There was the proposal to test provisioning liquidity on Swapper, so DXdao itself can trustlessly provide liquidity on Swapper. Of course, there were the buyback proposals, and then all of these Swapper farming proposals. So I think it kind of shows you the like maybe the breadth of the type of governance that DXdao is doing on chain. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so that actually rolls into DAO owned liquidity as a little bit of update here. Actually, Dave, you want to maybe give an update on the Swapper provisioning? I mentioned the proposals we had before, but there are a couple proposals live now related to provisioning liquidity on Swapper from DXdao.
Absolutely. So this is on Gnosis chain. So we currently have 2 proposals live. One which transfers roughly $2 million to our Swapper relayer, half of that in DAI and half of it in wrapped ETH. And the idea is to provision this liquidity into our Swapper WETH XDAI LP pool over the next couple of weeks. So we're doing this gradually in a couple of steps. And the second proposal, in fact, is the first of these provisioning proposals. And we had done some testing over the past couple of weeks just because it had been a while since we'd used the Swapper relayer. So we just did some test transactions to ensure that the LP tokens withdraw correctly. We also tested a number of withdrawal methods just to see the different avenues we have to withdraw the LP tokens. The two we explored, for example, is doing the withdrawal directly from the swapper relayer, which also liquidates the LP tokens and returns the underlying tokens to the DAO. And the second one is we can actually, given that LP tokens are just simple ERC20 tokens, we can also just withdraw ERC20 tokens, so the actual LP tokens to the DAO directly. So just some regular maintenance, making sure everything works, and we finally confirmed that. So now moving ahead with the provisioning proposal. So I think over the next 2-3 weeks, we should get through the whole $2 million, half of it WEF, half of it DXdao, and have that in Swapper and increase the total TVL of that LP pair significantly. So that's definitely exciting.
Yeah, and as we've been kind of joking about in the past weeks, I don't know if other people are like me who spend way too much time on Twitter, but those of us on Twitter see a lot of talk about DAO tooling. And I see these posts and people building DAO tooling. Of course, they can never work for DAOs. But if you're looking for DAO tooling, it's this right here, right? It's the ability, the infrastructure that allows a DAO to trustlessly provide liquidity on, in an on-chain AMM. And no one's really talking about that, but DXdao is kind of building that infrastructure. So it's really exciting for us to be iterating on this. And I think that there's a lot of possibility for DXdao's products, right, to benefit from DXdao itself and how it's doing it. But I also even think this infrastructure, this DAO tooling that we're building, can also be used by other projects and other DAOs, and obviously this fits into the whole kind of idea of DXGov ecosystem, having our governance stack be something that is used by others. Always thinking about the real DAO tooling that we're using here and the possibilities there. Okay, next up we have a new epic in the liquidity mining on Swapper. Was there someone going to give an update on this? Hopefully we can get a break from hearing my voice. Sky, are you the past Epoch Carrot campaigns reflections and maybe the upcoming one?
So I guess these two things can go together. I don't have all the list of every single campaign that is starting this epoch that went live this morning, but as if you go into Swapper and look in the campaigns as of like last epoch and this epoch, you will see there are many campaigns that do include Carrot as well. The good thing is that DXdao usage of Carrot has been picking up over time, and also other projects that we have either worked with or are interested in Carrot and in including that type of mechanism in their incentives have also been involved in helping to create Carrot campaigns with token rewards of those projects as well. We did have this post back in I guess it was in January, where we did kind of learnings about what our first initial Carrot campaigns were, and we came away with some conclusions. And over the last couple months, I think we've been trying to work on and address some of those. One thing is, for example, creating ranges with Carrots that are that don't pay out or have a chance, have a 50-50 chance of not paying out, is not as good as a range that there is some guaranteed payout with additional upside incentive for higher payout if the higher end of the target's received. So some of the ranges that were used, which obviously prices of tokens, on their own in the market can obviously affect TVL, but we've adjusted a handful of ranges for many of the Carrot campaigns so that there is at least some payout, and then if the goals are achieved, then can be the full payout. There are also campaigns that include, I believe, GNO token, which is part of farming incentives that DXdao received from Gnosis DAO. And then there's also Hopper and some other, and hundreds, I believe, that other projects that are willing to use their tokens in carrot campaigns as well. And so there's a big combination of how to use carrot, using it in addition to vanilla rewards, or potentially we have a couple ideas coming up where we're using multiple carrots in the same farm, I think. I'm not sure if that's included in this epoch, but maybe in the next couple weeks. And so, yeah, it's cool to see lots of different usage of carrot campaigns. It's still the MVP. Version 1 is being worked on and has to be audited, and there's a lot of complex pieces to it, but use cases where we're trying out carrot to incentivize things. And I think there's another topic on the agenda that I can talk about near the end, which is another unique use of carrot to incentivize a community around like marketing and social media, which could be cool. So that's kind of the summary of carrot. There's a whole boatload. The good news is you can go look in DX Vote and you can see the boatload of proposals of all the farming campaigns that started today in this epoch. And that's on Arbitrum, Gnosis Chain, and I believe the ones on mainnet. I don't know if there are ones on mainnet or they're already existing or something. But yeah, go check those out, and then make sure you go and chain. If you are farming rewards, make sure you update any of your farms, because as new farms start, you have to make sure you roll over to the new farms. And on Gnosis Chain and Arbitrum, it's not too expensive with gas and stuff, but still takes the effort, and you can change around and seek out the highest returns if you choose. I guess that's the full summary.
Yeah, I think the word is tend. I think you're supposed to tend to your farms, maybe till the soil. But yeah, that's kind of those. I think just started like an hour and a half ago. So I have actually not done my tending yet, but yeah, and it's really cool to see like the development of Swapper and Carrot together. Because I mean, yeah, you can first off you can check off all the campaigns right now on Swapper. Really nice UI now to see kind of different APYs, but you can really see how Swapper is becoming like a farming platform. Because now we have all these different campaigns. There's like 3 reward tokens. One of the reward tokens is a carrot. And so, yeah, it's something we can kind of build on, and I think will only increase. We do have to worry a little bit about the complexity. We were talking about a project, and can we have 4 total reward tokens, and maybe that complicates things for farmers. But I think it's pretty exciting to see all of that there. And yeah, there's some exciting kind of GNO rewards. A lot of GNO pairs, the WETH GNO DXD is a favorite of mine. There's some nice rewards on those. So yeah, exciting for the swapper farming. Okay,
Yeah,
and then
it's to the point. Oh, sorry, Chris. It's to the point where there's a lot of opportunity on Gnosis Chain right now, and there's some big APYs and there's some smaller ones. And I know we're not publishing APYs anywhere, but if you have friends that aren't aware of Gnosis Chain and what's going on in the ecosystem, yeah, make sure you tell all your friends to come check it out. There's good opportunity. There might be better opportunity than there is on mainnet in a lot of cases.
yeah, and even though gas prices have gone down on mainnet, it's still not. It's like $20 instead of $50.
Yeah, it would be cool if we had some type of like affiliate program where if you tell your 10 friends and they all come start farming, you get some reward or something. We don't have that in place, but if anyone has any ideas around that or how to do it in a DAO friendly way and privacy friendly way, yeah, try let us know or propose it on the forum.
Definitely. Any questions on Swapper farming? Yeah, nice growth for Swapper. As I said, we got a couple $1 million in liquidity headed there. These farms just launching, really cool. And then running into the next topic is a CowDAO proposal to bootstrap liquidity on Swapper on Gnosis chain. So this is still something we kind of been discussing, but I think is a potentially huge opportunity for Swapper, for Gnosis chain, for a lot of. So CowSwap, for those of you who don't know, is a aggregator. It's kind of like a little bit different than 1inch because it actually uses a separate network of solvers to actually do batch auctions. And so it submits solutions to those every 5 minutes. It's been a pretty successful product. I think it has about 8 or 9% of the aggregator market share now. And so they've this started through Gnosis, and so it was originally a Gnosis protocol V1, which is actually what we use for the buybacks, and then this version of CowSwap is Gnosis protocol V2, and then they rebranded to CowSwap and are spinning that out of Gnosis, and they've had I think a pretty cool spin out governance launch here. So they had the VCow token, which was non-transferable, but was airdropped to people that had traded on CowSwap or had done that. It was both. You could claim it on mainnet for sort of larger ones, but for the smaller airdrops, you actually had to claim them on Gnosis chain. So I think that was about 6 weeks ago, and then the VCow governance can then vote to make the Cow token liquid and tradable. So that's the governance process that is going on right now in the Cow community. Some DXdao community members were participating in the community call on the Cow Discord last week. So they're trying to figure out how to have liquidity for the Cow token when it launches. They're talking with Balancer on mainnet. Gnosis and Balancer have a long relationship, but then they're talking with DXdao or Swapper for Gnosis chain. And part of this is just because we've had such a long relationship with them. They're really interested in using Carrot. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of exciting things going on here with this kind of the farming campaign with Cow token. And so for Swapper, it's a huge opportunity really to be the place to get a new hot token, right? When it's 1inch, whether it's all of these different airdrops, in that first day or two, there's like tons of trading, tons of volume, price discovery, farming kind of things are going out this way. And so it's a real opportunity for Swapper to take advantage of that. We're trying to come up with a plan to have a great farming campaign that, gives out Swapper, GNO, maybe potentially Cow stuff, a Cow token. And also, we can do this with carrots in some way. But there's a lot of moving parts in trying to figure out how to create the best campaign. One of the challenges to coming up with a campaign or a campaign strategy is that the Cow token is not yet tradable yet. So we actually can't we can use that we have the token address for the Cow token, but we don't have the tokens itself, so we can't use them as collateral in a carrot. So that's one issue we're kind of dealing with, but lots of discussion here going on, and we'll hopefully have something to put in front of the community maybe early next week, and then we'll have proposals for what those farms and campaigns will be like. But I think it should be a big opportunity for Swapper. No, yeah, everyone's just excited about Swapper and CowSwap, no questions. And then Chim9 has used every emoji. So a lot of excitement too. Awesome. And then next up is DXdao patron to the Global Governance Gathering event by the Taoists in Amsterdam. Sky, do you want to take this away and give us an update here?
This link is the proposal. So good news is the mirrored signal proposal for DXdao community to sponsor this event, which is DXdao has sponsored Taoist events in Lisbon and in Paris, and this is their next kind of biggest event, GGG, Global Governance Gathering in Amsterdam during Dev Connect Week in Amsterdam in April. DXdao has signaled support and passed a proposal to sponsor it. The actual proposal to move the money for the sponsorship is on mainnet and I think has about 20 hours left, but it's going ahead. And there's already been tweets about it from the Daoist. As one of the 6 or 7 patron DAO sponsors, we are kind of leading and a force in the DAO space, and we chose the Daoist event as like the main event that DXdao should focus on during and highlight itself during the week in Amsterdam. And as part of that, there's going to be an opportunity for a panel and a talk, and we'll have a little table or a booth. There's a couple days of the event, and then we also get to do a special activation. And so we'll be meeting early next week. We already have a couple cool ideas that are special activations within the Daoist event. One has to do with nails, and one has to do with French fry or Dutch fries. And so we will explore those ideas alongside the Daoist, alongside some of the other patron sponsors early next week, and hopefully do something that's memorable for DXdao. And then,
sorry, did you say nails?
Nails.
Ooh, that's exciting. Got some real creativity coming on with the carrot innovation.
Yeah. And then separately, I guess the next talking point on the agenda is related also to ETH Amsterdam Week, is we've been throwing around an idea of using Carrot, which I mentioned earlier in the call, of using Carrot to incentivize the community and maybe other projects around a marketing and social media goal in the space. And so there's a little bit of debate on how and if we should do something like that. And the idea is to get carrots in the hands of people that can make things happen in the marketing community social media space, and use carrot incentives to drive behavior to try to accomplish some goals on behalf of DXdao. And so using financial incentives is clearly like something that happens in the space. It doesn't usually happen related to social media, but potentially we could try it. There's a possibility that it's looked upon. Well, some people on crypto Twitter, I imagine, will say that it's could be a negative thing, but it is experimental, and if the community thinks we should try it, then I think we should do it. And it's basically physically handing out carrot tokens which have a certain condition, maybe related to Twitter or something else. And if that pays out in the range, if those goals are achieved during the week of Amsterdam, then those carrots are redeemable for the underlying collateral. And so there's a draft going around at some point. I think we'll put that on the forum, and we can discuss if it's a smart use of funds and if what the goals and targeted goals should be related to that. But it could bring, if we had 500 or so people holding these carrots that are, physically handed out to people, it also brings a lot of awareness to Carrot as a platform, where people can come and, 1inch has dropped tokens where you just go claim the tokens, but this is actually claiming a Carrot token, which then has an underlying incentive to understand how the Carrot platform works, achieve the goal, and then claim your redeem your Carrot tokens for underlying collateral of, say, XDAI or some other money.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, we've been using Carrot to read on-chain data, right? Or like something about the on-chain world. But, it's just because it's reality, because the Oracle can be really anything. It could be any condition. So cool to experiment more. And I think that was it for the agenda. Was there anything we missed or any questions that were left? I guess Keenan gets questions left with him, but
I asked for questions, but nobody left any questions. So I think that if you're ready to finish, you can finish.
well, we got Quintillion and Ross typing here, so we'll see if they have any questions before then. Peak to 24. That's good. 21's still on the call. Ross, there's actually a suggestion box. I don't know. It's in
I've never
Vancouver
managed to
somewhere.
find the suggestion box.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
Vancouver.
right,
It's
yeah,
this like
okay.
like a box you have to write in and you
Hey, don't
submit it.
spoil it.
And Keenan goes and collects them every week. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining this DXdao community call. We'll have another one next week, same time, same bad channel.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.